Hey you guys, this is Mira and this is my final step in the original Fallout 3 game, its final review and the final conclusion. And you know, in general I wanna say that basically the Fallout 3 it's kinda the makeover the mistakes Bethesda made in Oblivion. You know, it was quite a lot of improvements and fixes. However, some of these fixes were kinda contradictory, so you know, I decided to sort everything out in, like, you know, the three categories, like in the plot, in the gameplay, and in the graphics of the game. And of course I want to start with the plot and character creating. Well, you know, I was impressed with the actual way of creating the character. However, the only you know, contradiction to me, like, you know, I put it this way, like the bullet shot in my head was when they were asking a newborn baby, was I like a boy or the girl, what was my name and whom I wanna be, like, you know, the race and all these phase operations. Like, you know, from the realistic point of view, it's a little bit complex task for the newborn baby. And you know, if I wanted to be the boy or the girl, they simply could look there and simply understand what was it all about. The main story itself, well, for me it ended up quite unexpectedly, and it was quite short, you know, even though yeah, it was quite an epic battle with along with the Liberty Prime and all this breaking through into the Purifier complex. Yeah, I really liked the final bell, which appeared to be the final bell, but back then I thought it was just, like, you know, another step of pushing the Enclave guys away from the Purifier and so on, and then simply destroying them, that kind of stuff. But what really got to my mind, not to my mind, got my attention during this entire game process, it was, like, you know, it was a simple illusion of a non-linear game. Like, you know, all you could do was like different ways of performing, you know, performing the quests. Like, say, getting some information, you could either persuade, you could bribe, or you could find some info in the computer, that kind of stuff. And basically this was the whole linearity points. Yeah, maybe some guys could have gotten killed when others are trying to, you know, save them, that kind of stuff. But you know, the whole point of it, no matter how good or how bad you are, you will still end up in the Purifier and dealing with this code problem. And speaking of which, well, you guys also noticed this, you know, flaws, the plot flaws. Like, say, once again, this code 216. First of all, I got simply lucky that somehow I knew it already, and I simply made you know, folks to perform the majority of the job of activating the Purifier, because I'm afraid if I did this myself, I really did not know the code. And, like, you know, what the hell should I type in? Like, where should I supposed to find this code? That kind of stuff, you know. And basically I would simply screw this entire ending and so on and so forth. And also, speaking about this code again, like, you know, to me it kind of seemed, you know, strange that the Enclave guys, the most advanced faction in the game, didn't manage to find out the 3-digit code. Well, you know, I would understand if the code was like, you know, 128-bit with all these capital and small letters, symbols, numbers, all this stuff, but it was just 3-digit code, so I'm not sure why they were hunting me so hard in order to, you know, figure out the 3-digit code. You know, that kind of seemed a little bit strange. And you know, yeah, I got a little bit disappointed with the main quest itself. However, what I really did like was like a side quests. They kinda they made the good side quest in Oblivion as well, and I would say they are even better than the main quest, and they did the same job in Oblivion. So I'm kinda thinking it's kinda became their tradition to make the side quests better than the main one. Well, hopefully they won't do this in upcoming Skyrim game. Well, I'll do my best to get this and probably let's play, but it is another story. But what really got my attention, and in not very positive way, it was a very poor actor playing. And you know, there was no soul in it. There was no, like, you know, any memories. Like they were speaking so generic, like, because the actors were simply paid for it. Like they did not put any soul in it. And you know, I'm an artist and I'm noticing that things, and you know, some of the acting, to me it was really painful to listen, if you know what I mean, guys. And you know, besides of the poor actor playing, during these entire games with this huge variety of all the NPCs, there simply were not any memorable characters in it. And you know, guys, what I mean? Like, for right now, I simply cannot remember any character that I would remember like through the entire game. Okay, guys, I'm lying. There are exceptions, but these exceptions can be counted with the fingers of my single hand. And this is my daddy, Amata, maybe the Overseer, the Three Dog, and the Moira Brown. That's it. The 5 memorable characters out of I don't know how much NPCs are in the game, but you know what I mean. The Fallout 3 is the game where the plot has a huge impact, and they need to do something about the plot and make characters more memorable, if you know what I mean, if they want any improvements from this part. But that would be it for the plot part. The game itself, on the positive side, I got, like, you know, a new repairing system. Like, you know, you're not simply repair the equipment from the air. You actually need to, you know, find the components of the similar weapon in order to repair it, or you can simply just, you know, spend some money and do this. That's what the thing I really liked. What I really liked also was the VATS system itself. I mean, for this technology and performing, and I don't know, guys, sorry if I overused the VATS in order to kill all these guys, but the main problems with on my part was, like, you know, the frames, and it was you know, a little bit difficult to perform, like, you know, the normal shooting. That is why I was trying to use the VATS for, you know, killing. So if I overdid myself with the VATS, I'm really sorry for that. I'll try my best not to use them that frequently later. Maybe, depends on how good my frames would be. And also what I really did like was, you know, the more friendly user interface. Like, you know, some of the controls were, like, you know, more intuitive, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, the interface itself, I mean, all these buttons and categories in the Pip-Boy, they were very confusing to me. And you know, up until the very end, I was simply getting used to it, and still was, you know, getting sidetracked with the wrong categories. So Bethesda should really work on their interface system. Also, what I find really negative and imbalanced is the leveling system itself. I mean, the leveling system of my character. Like, you know, from the very beginning I took quite high intelligence, and basically intelligence meant more points in my leveling up system. And basically I ended up, like, you know, getting 20 points per level, and you know, basically that's how I ended up mastering my major skills, like the skills I wanted to use during the entire game. Like, I mastered them on level 10, I guess. I don't recall exactly, but yeah, I improved all my explosives, energy weapons, what was engineering and computering on 11, 10, 11, 12 in this category. And after that I simply had to break my character a little bit, and you know, with the role playing, and you know, basically after that I was forced to improve some of my secondary skills, like, you know, which I would still use, but you know, that's a little bit of imbalance and the breaking of the role-playing element, if you know what I mean. But I kinda got used to it, you know, especially after I simply stopped gaining levels. Yeah, that's where I start missing my experience and level ups on this part. And what I did not like absolutely is the AI and an artificial intelligence. Sorry guys, I'm still learning. You know, yeah, they kinda know how to use the cover, how to duck, and basically they know the basics of the, you know, outflanking. Well, yeah, there was a couple moments they were trying to outflank me and hit me in the back, but basically they're most of the part they were performing like quite stupid NPCs, like, you know, simply running on me and doing this stuff, and I'm not talking about the tactics at all, you know what I mean, guys. So I really hope in upcoming Skyrim they would improve the AI itself, because the majority of the game is about battles and tactics, and you know, at the very beginning, yeah, I did use a lot of, you know, cover and so on and so forth, but later, especially with the folks, I ended up simply transforming everybody in a goo pile with my plasma rifle, and I didn't care about you know, taking the cover, you know, that much, because yeah, she kinda agoraphobia kinda transformed from the smart engineer into the advanced fighter type girl. But I still don't think I broke her personality, you know, that much. And also, the last part I wanted to speak about the gameplay itself. Lack of dynamics, at least in some parts. Like, you know, the quest should be like, you know, dynamic, it should flow fast, that kind of stuff, and in some parts it was very monotonous. And you know, the most memorable part of it would be the Riley's Rangers quest, when I was going through the entire building and clearing the mutants over and over and over again. And it back then it broke my desire to continue the game, but back then I said myself, you know what, screw this, I'm playing this again, and I really hope it was simply one single mistake in it. So yeah, they need more dynamics. And my last part I wanted to speak would be the graphics itself. Well, yeah, it was quite an improvement of it, like, you know, the high texture, more details, and you know, they kind of managed to get the atmosphere of the wasteland itself, and atmosphere and the special effects, like, you know, the turning guys into the ash pile or the goo pile. But at the same time, this entire world was simply the wasteland. It was the lack of the variety. Like, it was a desert and simply, and all titles are finished. And you know, it was simply, I put it this way, the entire desert, like, other than this small piece of the oasis, it was just the deserted place, the wasteland, and it just mattered, you know, where it was more rocks or trees or more destroyed buildings. And also, what really unpleased me was several graphical glitches, and you know, guys, what I mean, and hopefully we won't encounter into them in the future. So yeah, guys, you know, but still, you know what, even though I told so many unpleasant things about Fallout 3, I did really enjoy the whole game in total. And you know, at this point I'm not stopping playing the game, and very soon I would start my first add-on, the Operational Encourage. But before that, I have a little surprise for you guys, and I'm not gonna speak about it right now. I'll speak about it later. But yeah, this was Mira, this was Fallout 3 game. I hope you guys really enjoy my footages, and I hope to get even more of you guys in the future. And yeah, this was me, this was Fallout 3 game, and thank you for watching. This is Mira signing out. Bye!